What's going on, y'all? It's your boy DC in the building. Yes, sir. Today is Wednesday, May 27th. Yes, sir. We here. We live. Thank God for another day. Another day to focus on only winning, man. Um, yeah, right now what I had charted on gold is this 15-minute resistance level that I have formed around this level around here. Rejection coming from this level. No clear supply zone. No clear supply zone because this supply zone was already tapped into, but it was disrespected, and this one was also disrespected. So it's just holding a level of resistance. Yeah, excuse me. It's just holding a level of resistance. Um, I do see price may want to continue to the upside. But for right now, we are holding this level of resistance. We do not want to sell at this. We do not want to buy at this level of resistance. So we just gonna wait and see what price wants to do. If we could get this, come back into this demand and continue back to the upside to test the highs again, I like that. But price can literally just take off from right here to because it already tested. It's already testing these highs. It's looking like it wants to create it wants to form a lower high around here. Um there is nothing else on gold that I see. Earlier I did see this supply zone did win. I did see this supply zone win. Either the break of the candle would have won. Either this break of the candle would have won or the breakout. The breakout of the 13 EMA, which it was on this candle. It was a really small candle, but it's still valid. It's still valid. It never got stopped out, and this is what I seen. Maybe we go. Maybe I'm gonna have to start taking the break of the candle again. Um, this one had a higher RR, but the break of the candle would have been the best type of entry because I seen that work out yesterday as well. The break of the candle's been hidden again. So I might should start taking that, but we'll see what price wants to give us today. I am looking for buys, like I said. Hopefully we get that from the demand zone. Um, on crude oil, there is like this retracement happening on crude oil from this big, big sell that had happened. There's a supply zone. Let's look at it from the higher time frame. So there's this big downtrend that happened on oil. Crude oil right now is it's on a downtrend. Right now it just took the liquidity from this level right here, from this low. So now it's looking like it's continuing the upside for right now. It's currently in a 1 hour supply zone. More clearly on the 15 minute. Right here. Supply zone right here. This lower high. So there's this lower high that price is currently tapping into. And then yeah, but currently is having that retracement filling in this entire sell. But who knows if it wants to continue back to the upside or we should see what it wants to do. But for right now, yeah, it's sitting at that supply zone on the 15. Um, what are the EMAs on? So we have no news today, so we don't have to worry about that. We have no news. It is Wednesday, half of the week. Yesterday we didn't take a trade. On Monday was a holiday, a bank holiday, so we ain't really I ain't really trade that day. I ain't show up. I don't trade. Most of the holidays I don't trade. Especially like Memorial Day. I don't trade Memorial Day. There's other holidays that I do trade, but not Memorial Day. Um, at the end of the live, I'll show the account, the progress of the account, and where the account is at currently. Um, so yeah, right now we here. The EMAs on the on gold right now is crossing. The 13 EMA is crossing to the upside on the 50, looking to head towards the 200 maybe. Like I said, anything is possible. It's just like here, um, on crude, the 13 is crossing the 50 SMA. It's just switching momentum. It's just that. It's just switching momentum. It's not really um anything out of this world. I don't think this supply zone is going to hold. Maybe if it has the 5 minute supply zone, it'll probably hold. But right now, I don't see this holding for that long. The option swing that I took on block is doing pretty good. Here we were down like 10, 20%, and now it's up about like 20%. So we on something. We on something. Oh, the other one that it is hitting is this one. This one is also hitting as well. The 50 SMA is playing defense on that. Um, yeah, there's nothing else. Nothing else that I could see. Nothing else that I see. Like, whatever. And Google is flying. Tyson Foods. Johnson. And that thing is still flying. Dang. That thing is still going. Bitcoin on. Yeah, it's not looking like we're gonna get a setup today. Not looking like that. At least not on gold. At least not on gold. What's the ES doing? That's interesting. Price just gave an entry for a 13 EMA breakout from the 15-minute level of resistance that issues um rejected from. read this. The only reason why I'm not taking this is because I don't like how this the EMAs are crossed over like that. I would have preferred for me to take an entry for the this candle to break the 50 and the 13 at the same time with the same candle. But this can still win. Don't get me wrong. This can still win. I just don't wanna risk it for that. I don't want to take a risk on that type of setup. How big is this candle? It's not that big. 80 points, 84 points. It can still go and hit. It can still go and hit. Yeah, there's nothing to see here. So let's just put gold in 1 minute. Take the EMAs off. Let's doing the 15. Yeah, this can still this can hit. This can hit for sure. Y'all can hear that? There's always something going on outside. Let me see. Has the chat said anything? Nah. Let me try to play some music, bro. I don't want to hear this. Nah, I don't want to hear that. Yeah, this is looking like it's gonna be a winner. This looks like it's about to be a winner. Price did create another setup um right here, right there. Um this candle just needs to close, but there's another setup right there. Let me see. This looks like it's about to be a winner. Yeah, nah, the only reason why I didn't take this is because I didn't like how the EMAs were looking. Simple as that. Any other reason? Don't have any. It was just that I didn't like how the EMAs were looking, and yeah, everything else did align for this setup. Like there's a 15-minute resistance. Overall is on a downtrend. Um, we still in a no man's zone, so there's a possibility that price will just head straight here to this London low. High possibility that that will happen. Um, Aside from that, yeah, nothing else. I would take this entry, but there's no confluence as to why I should take that entry.
That feeling when you check your bank account and your paycheck's days away. And of course,
Let's see if we could find something else. I was thinking if price does come back and break this candle low, then I'll probably take the entry and target this 101. Put my stop loss up here. All right, I'm gonna look into taking an entry. What you mean or rejected? Why already rejected? Hold on. I don't know why it's just rejected the order, but we put the limit there. Let's see if price comes back to fill us in. Yeah, nah, I don't think price is gonna come back to fill us in. Nah, it's over. Yeah, nah, it's over. Yeah, price. I don't see price coming back here to fill us in. I don't see that happening. I do not see that happening. Let me see if we can find an entry in the 1 minute. Nah, we're not gonna get an entry in the 1 minute either. But it's fine, bro. It's fine. You feel me? If we could get an entry, then we'll take it. But if not, it's fine. We'll look for another setup, bro. Yeah, nah, I'm not taking that. It came too close to that. The thing is, I should be taking this setup right here, even if the EMAs do not look nice, because I could just lower my risk, right? Um, and then Just play it out. See it play out. But sometimes I just don't take my trades either because I don't want to lose or because I don't like how something is looking, which is discretionary. This discretionate. It's not a bad thing to do. It's actually good. But sometimes you just miss out on trades that you should be taking, and sometimes that shit could just break your mind, bro. That could break your mental, literally. That could break your whole entire mental. You have to be strong-minded to actually like be a discretionary trader. Where if you don't see something that you don't like and you don't take it and then it plays out and you have to deal with that emotion. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, right now it's not looking like we're getting a setup for the rest of the day. For the rest of the day, it's not looking like we're getting a setup. I don't want to force something. I really don't. I think the ES hit. ES it still hasn't hit. I think it did hit. The break of the candle from here. I think this hit. I think it did hit for a 101. Oh no, not really. Well, this one didn't have any confluence. This one did because it broke right here. Um, but yeah, we'll see if we could. If depending how price is looking around here, I'll probably take another. I'll probably take an entry, bro. I'll probably take an entry. I should just lower my risk. What if we just take ES, risking 3 points? Is this the correct contract? Damn, that thing moving too fast. Damn. That thing moving too fast. God damn. It's over. God damn. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Nice. The EMAs are blinding if you don't like focus on market structure. As y'all can see, I I could have just taken this trade and be out already by the 101 if I would have taken this setup right here. Um, because the rejection from the 15-minute resistance level that it had formed around here with this candle, it was from here, and then rejection, and then the breakout, the 13 EMA breakout. But I didn't take it because the EMAs were looking not so, you feel me, not, they weren't looking that good. But we would have been in and out. We would have been out of this trade by now. It would have hit the 101 right here, 101, and then we would have been chilling. Play stop loss at break even and things like that. I can see that this also was a 15-minute, a 15-minute setup, but the 101 would have been in the 5-minute demand zone. But it could still hit. It could still hit. The struggle is real, bro. The struggle is real. Like real life. The struggle is real. Should we go for this 101? Should we go for this 101? Nah, I feel like I'm forcing a trade at this point. I'm forcing a trade at this point. So it's just best for me to hop off. Damn, look at that thing go. Now I'm actually just forcing a trade because there's no confluence for me to take this. Besides, if you want to so call this a double bottom right here, um, if you want to so call this a double bottom, I guess. But I'm just forcing that. I'm just forcing that. If I was to take this, I would have just forced it. Um, it still would have played out, but it's like I've been looking for to take a trade, since I haven't taken a trade since the last losing trade that I had. Um, since this last losing trade, I just been looking to take a trade. We haven't taken a trade since last week Thursday, and yeah, bro. Since we haven't taken a trade since last week Thursday, I feel like I'm forcing a setup that's not there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I prefer to hop off and not try to force a trade that's not there. Yeah, this did win. The other one did win. If I would have taken the entry like I said that I was going to right here, I would have took a loss. I would have taken a loss because it came 2 points away from take profit and then reversed, and you know how that goes. But I didn't take this trade because it didn't have any confluence. Like I said, it didn't have any confluence. I should have took the first one. This one that did win. Um, this one did win. The only reason, like I said, the only reason why I didn't take it is because the 50 was in the way. The 50 SMA was in the way, and I didn't like how the EMAs were looking at that time. This one I didn't take it because there's no confluence. I don't really consider a double bottom, double top this pattern. Um, I don't really consider it a pattern that I trade. I don't really trade patterns like that. So why would I implement it now that like I haven't taken a trade in almost a week. So now I'm over here trying to trade patterns. I don't really want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not really on that type of time. I don't want to force a trade because then if I take a losing setup, then how am I gonna study it? Because obviously the winners, you could study it any way, shape, or form. The winners you find any way why you won, but when you lose, it's like now you have to reflect. Is that something that I should have done? Is that something that I trade consistently? Is that a setup that I would take on a consistent basis, like every day? You know what I'm saying? So if that's a no, then why would you take it? And I've been in that type of situation where I would do that, and at the end of the day, it wouldn't feel good knowing that you stepped away from your plan and all that stuff. You feel me? So I just prefer to stay out of this type of market. It's been a rough month for me. Um, this is my journal. I'll show you my journal. This has been a rough month for me. Back to the beginning of May. This setup right here. Um, this setup right here. I should add like another day where I should review and go over the trades so I could do it live. And when I study it, it's easier to maybe put on ChatGPT to give me some patterns that that I'm doing consistently and things like that. So yeah, this day was a great trade, perfect trade. I just made a mistake of pressing the buy button instead of the sell, and this was a crazy winner because it went for like a 103, right? But it was my mistake because when it was time to enter the setup, right at the right at the closing of this candle, I pressed buy instead of sell. Um, the next day it was a losing setup, but I should have lowered my risk because it was a 15-minute setup, I believe. Was it a 15-minute setup? No, that's a 5-minute supply. Um, the only reason why I should have lowered my risk is because the EMAs were getting closer, and it looked like a counter trend day. Like it looks like a counter trend day. Actually, the counter trend did win as well. The counter trend did win. Um, yeah, the counter trend did win. Um, and also here, I made another mistake that's what caused me to blow the account. I clicked the I clicked the execution button twice instead of once, and that put me in double my precision. So since I doubled my precision, I was like a hair away from blowing the account. Oh shoot. I was a hair away from blowing the account. Um then I didn't take a trade these days. I think those are counter trend days as well. Yeah, counter trend won 2 times again and again. So yeah. This day I took a loser. So this was a 15-minute demand zone that did go to the upside. It would have been better if I would have just took the break of the candle here instead of the breakout, because the break of the candle did win. But either way, I should have lowered my risk on this one because it was just a 15-minute setup, a 15-minute demand setup, and it wasn't a 5 minute. So I should have lowered my risk. But by this trade, the account was blown. 3 trades done. It should have been like 4 or 5 trades because I actually made a mistake here and here. But whatever. Then the first trade that we take with this account, we won this trade. I think it went to a 101. What happened this day? It went to a 101, I believe. I took a counter trend trade. It went to a 101 and I closed, I believe. I believe I closed. I didn't hold it to the 102, but it did go to the 102 later on. Let me see. Yeah, because the 101 was right here, and then price was just bouncing back and forth, and then until um almost 12, almost 11:50, it started reversing back to the downside, and then it went to a 102. I think that was the max that it went to, a 102. Um, Counter trend is best to take on the second setup with a support resistance supply or demand. Yes, sir. This trade I didn't take it. It was this trade was not valid for me. Um, like I said, bro, the break of the candle been winning, bro. The break of the candle been winning. The break of the candle has been winning. Just like what happened today. Today, the break of the candle did win again from this supply zone. Well, from this supply zone, break of the candle, and it's just ripped. So I have to take that in consideration, bro. Whenever I'm trading, look to trade the break of the candle. Don't look to trade the 13 EMA breakout. That's what I'm gonna have to do moving forward. Starting tomorrow, let's try to see if we can find a break of the candle setup. Um, What else? Yeah, even though I didn't take the first setup, I could have taken the second setup. Second setup did win. And it had a 5 minute demand zone as well. It went for a 1-on-1. That was that day. And then this was a 15 minute setup that I didn't take. Yeah, the 15 minute demand supply zone. It went for a 1-on-1, almost a 1-or-2. I didn't take this setup. I don't understand why I'm not taking these setups. I don't understand why. Same thing with this week. So let me see. I don't think it's the market. I don't think it's the strategy. I think it's my performance, my own personal performance. That's not. Is me not performing well, not the charts or not the strategy. Um, this setup I didn't have proper size. I didn't have proper size. I remember the candle when I took the entry, it moved like really fast. So since the candle moved really fast, it didn't really give me a chance to take a to add more to the position. So once it hit the 1-on-1, right at this candle, once it hit the 1-on-1, I just placed my stop loss at break even, and that's when it came back, stopped me out, and I think it did. I think it's just reversed back to the upside. I don't know if it kept going that day. Yeah, this day it was one loser, one winner, and the other winner didn't end up going to a 1 or 2. It only went to, let me see. It went to a 1-on-1. This one was the loser. Then this one was the winner. It went to a 1-on-1. Then it came back to break even. And it's just consolidated there. I don't think it went to a 1 or 2. Oh yeah, it went to a 1 or 2, I guess, but it was like later on the day. Um, it's my performance, man. My performance is what's killing me right now. This day was a great trade. It went to 1.9, and then it reversed to back to break even. So I was close to that break even. Um, as y'all can see, there was a great setup, clean setup. But yet again, it's just didn't hit. It didn't hit the 1-on-1. Break even, and then I took two trades on. I took two trades on Thursday. One was a winner, one was a loser. I took this losing setup. It was like this type of setup right here. It was the same setup, same exact setup. 15-minute resistance, 15-minute resistance, and then it gave the candle break. It gave a candle break right here. This one gave it on this candle right here. It gave it on this candle, and it was a loser. It hit stop loss, whatever. And then I took the next setup, which it was this one. This one I liked it because it was holding a level of support, and it broke the 13 and the 50 SMA in one candle, and it just failed. It didn't really hit. So two losers in one day. This was the one that won. This strong candle, as y'all can see, different momentum, different volume, but this one was the one that won. It don't matter. And ever since then, I missed two trades. That's why there's a flag here. I missed those two trades. The one today where it hit the 15-minute resistance and then it gave the breakout. Um, 15-minute resistance. 15-minute resistance right here. 15-minute resistance that I had marked before this move have happened. 15-minute resistance. Candle entry was right here. This candle. This candle right here. And I didn't take it. And price ripped. Hit the 101. Came back to break even. And then yesterday, something similar had happened. Where... Or was it? No, my trading session. No, nope. Not this one. Wait, which one was the setup? I don't get it. Why was this be a setup? I will have to watch the recording on why. But what it seems like it didn't even tap this supply zone right here. It didn't tap that. And it didn't tap... This is not even a supply zone right here. On the 15. Maybe was it on the 5? Was it a 5-minute the supply zone? Oh yeah. It was a 5-minute supply zone right here. Right here. It was this 5-minute supply zone. It tapped. The break of the candle would have won as well. And the 13 EMA breakout definitely won as well. And I didn't take these setups because I was looking for the counter trend. But the counter trend that we did get, it was a demand setup. I missed 2 setups today. It was a demand setup, 13 EMA breakout. That was the candle. And then it went for a straight 102. And then it reversed. But the only reason why I didn't take it was because, like I said, the 50 SMA is in the way. And I wanted a candle like this that breaks both. That simple. Lord. So, missing setups yesterday and today. I feel like that's what's cooking me. That's what's cooking my performance. And then, yeah. I'm showing up. I'm still showing up. I'm still looking to take this win setup. I'm still focused. I'm still locked in. Nothing different. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less, bro. What can I say, bro? What can I say? Price just created this setup right here as well. It's not super clean, but it is a setup. Should I take it? Is that even a supply zone for real? Nah, I'm cool. I'm gonna just stay out. I would like to take buys instead. Yeah, I would like to take buys instead. It is hitting this demand zone right here. Um, Not a super clean demand zone, but it is hitting this demand zone. Overall, it's on a downtrend. The 200 EMA is really far, so I would say to find a way to get a retracement. But going against the trend is your friend, bro. I'm not about to do that. I'm not. I'm forcing trades right now. I'm looking just to take any trade that I see. I don't like being in that position. I really don't. I don't like being in that position. So I'm gonna just hop off. If this is a winner, so be it. Alright, bro. It's y'all boy DC in the building. Peace, love, and abundance to all.